How you doing, man? Feel like you have been all over Europe. We haven't catch up in a
We've
while.
been in Cavanna for
One day.
like basically since Sierre-Zinal now, which
Okay,
feels
okay, okay.
like
Yeah,
a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, before that I was in France, and yeah, we had this training camp with HOKA.
yeah.
It was great, but also like very intense.
Demanding. Yeah,
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 very demanding. So
yeah.
I actually felt like I think those couple of weeks were the weeks where like when I struggled the most during this
Mm,
preparation.
mm.
And I went into Sierre-Zinal feeling like not 100% efficient and a little tired.
Yeah.
But then it turned out to be a good race. Like I ran
Push.
pretty much like the time that I always run.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I was happy to get the top 10. And yeah, I mean, it's a good sign of fitness, considering that I'm not training super specific
Hold
for a
on.
race like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely like a yeah a good fitness check for CCC, and then yeah, I've done a couple of workouts and a big long run on Monday, and that's my last big
That's
effort
it.
before
I
the
mean,
race,
it's
and I'm
it's only
tapering.
now like 8 days, so you should
Yeah,
start winding down for sure.
nine days away. So
Yeah.
yeah, this morning a little workout on the track felt easy, so I think we're getting there.
Ready to go. Are
Yeah,
yeah, we're recording already. Are we using this
yeah,
or because
I think we
okay,
can.
I mean my whole yeah, basically my whole point was like as we haven't catch up, I wanted to hear from those three things that you just like briefly mentioned, starting with the camp, then moving
Yeah,
to Sierra, and then now being almost a week out from a big one.
yeah, yeah. I think each one of those experiences we can talk about, and yeah, actually the HOKA training camp in Saint Gervais near Chamonix was my
Yeah.
first ever training camp with a team, other
That's
than
crazy
like
though.
our
Yeah.
national team. And I was
Yeah, yeah,
reflecting
yeah.
like I'm 33 and just getting started with like all these things.
Yeah.
And it's great that now there are a lot more opportunities to do that for young athletes.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, a huge motivation for me to share my training with other athletes, but also like I think I even appreciate more like all the in between moments, and like having
Yeah.
breakfast or like go for a coffee or
Yeah.
just relax, and talk to people, and like be around people like you basically, which
Yeah.
doesn't happen that often. So that was
Yeah.
great.
It's funny that you mentioned because it's like this feels so natural, like why this hasn't happened before more frequently, right? And I mean I know like the last years some brands have been doing it more or less, but it feels like such an obvious thing, not just from the training perspective, which of course is great to be able to train, with the best athletes out there, but also just like as you say, just like share moments outside the trails, which is
Yeah,
normally when like conversations happen and like you get to
yeah,
know people, you get to know your teammates, and probably you also get to know some of the people who work for the brand that are, kind
exactly.
of behind the scenes, right? So I think that's definitely the right approach when it comes to just like putting a group of people into a nice place surrounded by mountains, right? And then just like
Right,
magic happens, pretty organic, I think.
right. Yeah, but like coming from Nike, they never really did like training camps or like athletes based projects,
Yeah,
which is okay. It's just a different approach, and I understand that Nike doesn't have their priority on trail running, but Hoka, of course, is a leader in trail running, and their DNA is in trail running, so they invest a lot more, and they really care about athletes and events, and of course they sponsor UTMB, and they're doing a lot for the athletes. So
yeah,
for me it was a big change, and yeah, I'm very happy about it. And also, like as you mentioned, getting to know more people from the brand, and also like being able to ask. Like I never really considered the possibility to, if you have like a special need for gear or shoes or
Yeah,
anything, you can
yeah,
go and ask or discuss with the people like, hey, why don't we make this and that, and like, how can you help me like make a better product, a better vest? For example, we were working on a couple of new vests and discussing that with the designers and trying to come up with better socks, for example, which currently we don't have any models that really satisfy me. Not that are bad, but I think we can do
I,
better.
uh,
So all of
I wasn't
that is
aware
like,
that they did socks actually.
yeah, we have like some socks, but honestly, they're not anything special.
Yeah.
So anywhere there is room for improvement, you can talk to the people from the brand and trying to come up with new solutions, and that's fun and that's very valuable, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Touching on the gear side, I have always wondered, especially because as I have shared maybe in some other episodes, I'm a diehard skate fan. I would consider myself a skate as a young kid. So it's crazy how that, on that world, like every pro skater has like a shoe, right?
Right.
And I know like maybe Salomon has done that with like the line from Francois, but it feels like such a big opportunity. Just like having like a pro shoe by X, or and maybe it can be the same, but just like the colorways are different, or of course
Right.
like it can have some stuff that some people would appreciate more than others. But yeah, it just feels like a way of using and leveraging to your athletes, and then just like yeah, putting it out there. And I think again, like people build these like personalities, right? And like you wanna endorse them, or you wanna like kind of get to say like, oh, I'm running in France shoe, or like in gym shoes or whatever.
Wrap their gear,
So
yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah, wrap their gear. So
I,
it's
I
like
can imagine like if Salomon made like a Courtney signature shoe, that would be
yeah,
like all
yeah.
over the places.
Imagine, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, that would be
no,
so cool.
I don't know why it hasn't happened yet at the at the
They've made the
scale that I was
pants like
yeah,
the long shorts,
yeah, yeah,
which
yeah,
are those are great, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, it should maybe happen more often.
And how long was the camp? You were out there
We
for a
were there
week?
for almost 2 weeks
Oh,
before I traveled to Sierre-Zinal, and
yeah,
actually the first week was dedicated to a lot of like media interviews and
yeah.
stuff. They basically wanted to move like all the media obligations from the UTMB week to that
Nice.
week in order to
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
free
yeah.
up our time and not put pressure on us on having to you know do things
That's very smart.
during
Yeah,
race week. Yeah,
yeah,
which is great, of course. Of course, we were also in the middle of our preparation,
yeah.
but we were able to combine training, other obligations, and a little bit of recovery. So I think in the end it turned out to be pretty like a good decision.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's actually very clever because I know how packed the
Hmm.
UTMB week, so it's like athletes
Yeah,
are always having a hard time balancing, the interviews, the podcasts, the fun runs, and then just like trying to rest you, in
right.
between all of that. So yeah, that's a smart move.
Yeah, I think right now for me it's pretty much all about saying no to like every opportunity that comes
90% of
up.
the things. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's the most important race of the year, arguably.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
don't want to, you know, waste this opportunity. And
yeah,
I've worked hard for this, and I think everything else can wait,
yeah,
even just for a few days. And then after the race, we can go for coffee or interviews, photos, anything, of course.
yeah,
But
yeah,
before
yeah,
the race,
no,
I think it's important to set priorities and do what is really important to show up on the start line
yeah.
fresh and ready to go.
will they do a video of the whole thing, or just like more like single snaps into creating something
Yeah,
for after UTMB?
yeah, they basically invited a bunch of different medias from different European countries, and we released like interviews for them, and yeah, they made videos or like social media things. They might do a video from the training camp. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, it wasn't like or it wasn't directly organized by HOKA. It was like
Oh, okay,
HOKA
yeah,
invited all these media to
yeah.
um, yeah, to do these activations with the athletes.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the only thing that as a fan of the sport would love to see is like more like behind the scene kind of stuff,
Right,
you know? More like yeah, like what you mentioned, right? Like how it is to have Fran having a coffee with Hayden, right? Or like I don't know, eating dinner or whatever. So yeah, maybe something also to tap into the future, just like to show what you guys do when you're not out there running.
right, yeah. And funny enough, I think yeah, I posted on Instagram like a little recap from the camp and like
Yeah,
sharing some random moments and conversations and not necessarily training moments, but like more casual things. And people seem to really like that because they get
yeah,
a glimpse of what's going on and what's behind the life of a professional athlete, which I
yeah.
think is really cool. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
for me it makes sense because like you know a lot of the time what athletes in general make public it's either the wins or the struggles, right? Like you go to Strava and you see like a great session, and then you go to Instagram and you have this great picture running on a reach or whatever. But like yeah, you don't get to see Francesco winding down reading a book at night, right? And not to say that you
right,
should do that, but like again, it's just like the running is just like I don't know 20-30% of your day, right? Maybe
right.
50 in the days that you're doing massive long runs, but like there's still a lot of time outside of the running that happens.
Yeah, the thing is that it doesn't feel special, so
Yeah,
you don't have like a reason to share it, and it's not like we share only what is special, but like for example, I'm working with a videographer who is helping me put together like a video for CCC, and we also want to film a little bit the
nice.
preparation and like the training moments. It's kind of in between like a documentary and a vlog, because it's also like there's also like some self shots and not just professional uh, images and footage. Um, but sometimes I have a hard time filming or like having a theme. Like I always think I should have something like a message or like something to say or something special, because I
Yeah,
think like normal life is not it's not worth
epic.
sharing. Like it's
Yeah,
yeah, it doesn't like it just life. So why
yeah,
would people care about it? But actually, the people I'm talking to, they're helping me understand that this is what people really want to see, like
yeah,
the normal
yeah,
moments that I don't really care about or I don't consider important or special. So for me, like I'm trying to get into this new mindset of um, yeah, giving voice and value to everything I do and say and experience, regardless if it feels above average or like special or
yeah,
just normal life.
yeah,
So
yeah. No,
yeah, I think
that's great,
that's
man.
that's a good problem to have. I mean, it's um, apparently like people like this behind the scene kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to bring people a little more deeper into my personal story and journey.
That's great. You will release anything before CCC, or this will be more like an
Yeah,
after
we'll
thing?
try to. There's like a yeah. I'm actually working on the subtitles in English, so my international audience
Nice.
can understand. And yeah, it goes basically from Lavaredo until the training camp with HOKA, and then we'll make
Nice.
a second
Yeah.
film about CCC.
Yeah, so hopefully when this pod is out, people will be able to watch it already. So you should
Right.
check out
Yeah.
France. Yeah. This will be like a YouTube thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a YouTube thing.
Nice. No, that's great. I think, yeah, I totally agree that it may feel weird for you to be highlighting things outside of running, but yeah, I can totally see why people is engaging more with that stuff. And our sport in general, it's just like always, a few steps behind when it comes to the content in general. Like if you go and see, cycling and triathlon is big on this, like people are quote unquote personalities outside of, their races and their training. And sure, a lot of the time it's training stuff, out there. But yeah, like also like people have family, I don't know, people have other stuff going on, and in the end, yeah, people want to know their athletes as a whole, not just when they, pin a beep
Right.
number. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm enjoying watching. There's this new wave of athletes doing videos and vlogs and
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Tom Evans has been posting some videos. Even Killian with, for example,
Yeah.
the Western States video that I really enjoyed. Sarah Alonso, just to name a few athletes.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing a great job to reach a new audience and finding a new way to tell their stories. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to do something similar.
That's exciting, man. Okay, should we move to Sierra-Zinal now before we
Sure.
jump into
Yeah.
the big one? Yeah, how was that one? Like, how many times now have you run it?
So that was my ninth Sierre-Zinal.
9. Oh, so
I've basically ran the race since 2016, except 1 year, which
yeah,
was 2017 when I was racing at the World Mountain Running Championship instead.
yeah.
So yeah, it's probably the race that I've run the most. It always feels
I mean,
special.
9 times, it's a lot. Yeah.
And yeah, so perfect. I don't know if I have an obsession with it, like maybe yes, but I don't know. Like my main reason to go back was to finally try to run like I know I can,
Hmm.
which for different reasons I never felt like I could in the previous editions, because it's such a hard race to
Nailed. Yeah.
nail. Yeah,
Yeah.
to get it right.
Yeah.
It's it's tough, it's fast, it's hot,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the competition is huge. You feel very uncomfortable.
From the get-go. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very difficult to nail it. And for this reason, it never fully left me satisfied or like fully happy when I walked away. And this year it was a little different because within the context of my preparation for CCC and the World Championship, which
Yeah.
obviously are longer races, and Sierre-Zinal feels like a relatively
Sprint.
short race compared
Yeah.
to these competitions. I think I could find a new meaning or like a new type of satisfaction, which is maybe more related to the context of my training, and seeing that I can perform close to my best at Sierre-Zinal even while in the middle of a big training block
Yeah.
felt very satisfying and rewarding. And I felt like you can always run faster, but in that circumstance, I couldn't ask myself more. So I walked away feeling happy and satisfied, and yeah, that felt like a small win for me. So it was a great experience. It was very warm, probably the
I've heard. Yeah.
hottest Sierre-Zinal I
Yeah.
remember. Despite that, like people in front don't seem to care about heat or anything, and they run like super
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philemon, Patrick, and Michael, Sally, all from Run Together. They dominated the race and
Yeah,
went on the podium. And I think another story that I want to mention is Katie Schide, of
for
course.
sure. Yeah,
I think what she did is incredible.
pretty mind blowing. Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like 5 weeks, or yeah, 4 or 5 weeks after Hard Rock. To me,
exactly.
that's like Killian level. Like only I would
Exactly. I
consider
think the
him to
only
be able
athlete
to. Yeah,
who's been able to do like something similar is
yeah.
Killian. When
I
I think
think I may have done like first and second at Sierre-Zinal, like on the time that he did the back to
when he
back.
ran Hard
Maybe
Rock,
wrong.
I
Yeah.
think it was fourth, but it ran
Maybe,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
2:30.
yeah,
So it
yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah,
yeah, pretty much similar to what Katie Schide did, and like running 2:58 there is insane.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and it was also like a 19-minute or like 20-minute improvement from her time
yeah,
in 2021. So I think it really shows how the level has grown and how she's evolved as an athlete and
yeah.
what it takes
The
to
ra-
excel both
yeah,
in short and long races.
the
And it's
range is now
yeah,
insane for her, and
yeah,
especially because also like I guess like also Hard Rock is such a different race. Like it's like
yeah,
nothing because even like I would say okay, like if she done like Western State and then Sierra-Zinal, that would make more sense. That's both are like running races. But again, then making this switch from something like Hard Rock to Sierra-Zinal is just like mind blowing. Yeah,
yeah. But I think it's also like a sign of how the preparation, like the training for ultras, has evolved from
yeah,
like a probably like a more like a volume based approach to a more quality based
yeah,
approach, and
yeah,
it really shows in these kind of performances, and also in the performances she's been able to deliver in long races. She set the course record at Hard Rock.
yeah.
She set the course record at UTMB last year. So
Yeah, I feel yeah, I agree. And even
yeah,
like taking your example too, like you now have proof that you can kind of quote unquote make the switch to ultras, which in your case you have done, but you can still be very much competitive of something like Sierra-Zinal, which like a lot of time, people tend to say, okay, like whatever, like this guy only run short stuff, so he will never perform at ultra, or then the other way around, right? Like,
yeah,
oh no, these guys always, just like run 10 plus hours, so he will never be able to compete at something like, Sierra-Zinal, right? So, but also I think it is important to mention that you guys, talking about you and of course Katie, and others that can have that range, it's like very special people, right? It's not something that, most people can even attempt, I think, because a lot of time, we only have so much time during the day and so much energy during a year that it's hard to do well at all of the stuff without sacrificing getting quote unquote worse at other stuff. So it's to
totally.
me it's super impressive, and I've said before like I'm spoiled because I kind of grew up seeing Killian doing well at everything, but I know that that's not how it works, right?
That's not the normality. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think as males, it's easy to like compare with maybe Killian or Jim, and
yeah,
like to me, it seemed almost obvious that if I wanted to be a good athlete, I had to be
yeah,
competitive both in long and short distance races at the
yeah,
same time. So this feels like the way to go, but I understand that it's maybe an exception, even if it's becoming less of an exception. I think we're seeing as the competitive level grows, we're seeing athletes that are able to perform really, really well in both long and short
yeah,
races
and
because
and
it
even
really
to
starts from the quality, like,
yeah, yeah.
and then it just being able to extend that quality for a longer period of time in order to run farther.
Yeah, and also to, of course, the distance is something to consider, but also like the type of terrain too, right? Because like for example, and I don't want to go super ahead because hopefully we can get the chat before that. But like, I'm very excited to see how you do at Worlds, right? Because that's like a course that you're, I would say normally you wouldn't do, right? I mean, like in terms of preference, right? Or that you could
Right.
potentially say that it's not your forte. But then again, as people is showing that they can be pretty much good at everything, meaning anywhere from Sierre-Zinal to 100 miles, right? And then anything from a super fast runnable race to something very technical that includes, maybe using poles and like hiking more than what you would normally do, right? So yeah, it's very interesting to see just like how things are moving forward because of people have now dialed in the training, the quality, right? And then everything else you like, I don't know, nutrition, then like recovery, and then just maybe how they plan ahead to what their challenges are and try to make the most out of the time in terms of like, okay, I will focus on this, so now then I can move on to something different, and then just like evolving as the calendar goes.
Yeah. Yeah, the sport. This is what we mean when we say the sport is becoming more professional. It means that every aspect of, like, from training to nutrition to recovery is getting better, is optimized, and athletes are paying more attention to every detail that goes into their performance. And it's great because, I mean, after all, yeah, we do it because it's our passion and we have fun running in the mountains. But I think when you sign up to a race, it's also because you want to be competitive, and we are pushing the level of competition as high as ever. And
Yeah.
it's great. It's a very exciting time to be a trail runner.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Random question: did they give anything when if you finish 10 Sierra-Zinal? This is gonna happen next year. Do you get any like, I don't know. In the
Oh,
US they will give you like a buckle for this, but I don't think in Europe they do
no,
this.
it's not a thing, but I wish it was. But actually, I think I'm gonna take a break from Sierre-Zinal next year.
Really? So but man, you have
Just
to close
because,
it.
not forever, but just a break.
Yeah,
1 year,
yeah,
1 or 2 years, because I don't want it to
yeah,
become an obsession. I think I want to have a healthy relationship with Sierre-Zinal,
yeah.
and this year I was happy,
Yeah,
and I don't need to make the trip to Zinal every year, even if I love the race, and
yeah,
I encourage everyone to give it a try. And it's actually like one of the biggest 1 day races that I know, because
yeah.
it's 6,000 people running,
Yeah, it's like people
like,
don't
on the
really
same day.
know. Yeah, unless they have been there or they know someone, they don't a lot of because a lot of the
It's
people
huge.
focus on the elite side of things, right? But I don't know how many waves they have now. There's a bunch of people running that race. It's
Yeah,
like a whole day of just like launching people to the mountains. This is one
right.
of the
They
reasons
they
of
they
why
start
you
like
guys start so
super
late.
early.
Yeah, like four or something.
Yeah, like 4:30 in the morning, and
Yeah.
then the elites
Yeah.
start at 11 a.m.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know. Yeah, actually, a few months ago, I was talking about this with someone, and like, as they're used to seeing this on YouTube, right? They all think that okay, like Sierra Sinal is just like a race that starts late, right? But no, like if you are not an elite, right, you can be starting at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So
Right.
it may be like a very different experience from what you guys do, way later in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that's great. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that you will be back, but yeah, I would be so tempted though to do my 10th. It feels like a milestone, even though if they don't give you anything for it. Yeah, doing a race 10 times, whatever that race is, it's just like shows a lot of, commitment and consistency, and it just tells, I really love this race if I have done 10 times.
What is the race you've run the most?
Not a lot, to be honest. I think I want to say 4 or 5 times. I mean, I've done Kima 3 times. I would
That's
love
pretty
to do
good,
that one,
considering that it's
especially
every other year.
it's every other year. So that's like already, and I skipped pandemic, so that's been like 8 years of my life, to be honest. But
Yep.
yeah, and the thing is, like, even like here in Chile, there are not a lot of races that have been going on for 10 years. I know that in Europe you have races that have been going on for like 40, 50 plus years, right? But like in other places, races kind of come and go, right? Or like sometimes, they use the same route, but for whatever reason, they just stop for 1 or 2 years, then they come back because they get another sponsor. So even they rebrand the race. And even though it's the same thing that you did, I don't know, 5 years ago, it's like a new one. So at least in Chile, how it is, and I think in lots of parts of Latin America, there is not a lot of history when it comes to races, right? And I mean, and I know that there are in Argentina. There are a few that are been going on forever, like the one that you did actually, like the K42. Remember, like Worlds
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
2018 or something. That's been going on for a while too. There are a few others too that may have 10 plus editions, but yeah, it's not super common to just come back every year to do one. And I think also the cool thing of Sierra-Zinal is like it's short enough that you can push super hard, but you can bounce back. So in your case, you still have many things going on for after that. So yeah, we don't really have a scene like that. We don't have Sierra-Zinal, Giro du Mont, or all of these
Okay.
European classics, right? Or like in the UK, right? There's a bunch of field races that have been going on forever, and those are
Oh yeah.
like, I don't know, 2 3 hour races. So you can, if I would have that, I would definitely be doing short stuff just
So it's
every
like
year because it's so fun.
so ultra races are more common in South America.
I want to say, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
yeah, yeah.
50K and
50K.
longer.
It's actually like 50 to 80 to 50 miles, 80K.
Yeah,
That's like kind of where the range is. We don't even have
that's
super long
interesting.
stuff at the moment because we don't have enough runners to be able to go that long. But yeah,
Yeah, and also like the logistic of a long race
yeah,
is very difficult.
yeah. So yeah, no, I haven't.
So
I'm not even close to have done a race 9 times like you. But hopefully, I still have plenty of years ahead of me. So maybe I can get to 10 years in one.
and I think I don't I think there is a guy that actually ran like every edition of Sierre-Zinal, and it's
Really?
like 52 editions. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like 75 or something now. I think they posted it on Instagram like last week. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty insane.
I know in the US there is like a whole thing about just like
Yeah,
stacking
I'm
finishes,
sure there is
yeah.
people who have run like every edition of Western States or some other
Yeah, I don't know if
very
any of these,
historic
all of it, but
races.
yeah, yeah. I know the 10-year cycle is a massive thing. It's like 1,000
Yeah,
miles on the Western State course. I know
and
that
even
Leadville has the same.
yeah, even comrades like
Comrades is another example. Yeah,
the previous podcast that I recorded uh, with Rosie Mitchell,
yeah,
this
yeah,
athlete that I coach. She's
yeah,
going for like the green number that
yeah,
they give you when you run 10 times the
yeah.
comrades marathon, and it's a big deal. Like people love it, and yeah, it creates an attachment, I guess, to the race.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think it's a. Also, it's a hard balance because nowadays I feel like a lot of people want to travel
Yeah,
and race, so they want to use the opportunity of going to a new place so they can, see something different, like being involved in the culture and the running community there. So it feels like back in the day, it was, yeah, more common to just see people doing the same races over and over. But now, yeah, maybe like younger runners, like people who's been coming to the sport the last couple of years, they just want to go and go to the Alps, or go to somewhere in the US or even go to Asia, right? They go to, I don't know, Australia and do like some wild stuff there. So yeah, it feels like tradition as a whole may not be as strong as how it used it to be.
hmm
But then again, yeah, like the example of comrades and stuff, I think there is a case to be made for people being involved in a race, and maybe even if it's not running the race itself, it's just like again being involved with the event, in any form or
right,
way, right?
right. Yeah, I love that there is this idea that the participation to a race can be something else or something more than just competing and running
Yeah,
the race. And it's still not very common in Europe, but for sure it's a very US American thing,
Yeah, yeah. With the
to
crewing and
volunteer
volunteering.
and
Yeah,
crewing
yeah,
and
yeah,
pacing and doing trail work and all of that. I think it's awesome, and it creates a community around the race and a
yeah,
culture, which I think is very important to preserve.
yeah. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Should we move to the last
Yeah,
one?
I
The
just wanted
debrief
to mention
campaign?
that there is always a pretty big South American contingent coming to Sierre-Zinal this
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
like
yeah,
people from
yeah.
Uruguay and Central
Colombia,
America, Mexico,
Ch
Colombia.
Chileans
Yeah,
also now are getting there. I think
yeah.
we had like 3 or 4 guys and two
Because I
ladies
think
maybe.
the race organizers have some um, I don't know, like they're in touch with like some local
Yeah,
South American race organizers, so
yeah,
they send their athletes,
yeah.
and it's great if it um, it makes for a very
The rhythm
fun
is special.
and
Yeah, no,
diverse
yeah.
environment. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, yeah. No, I love that they do that, and I think it
yeah,
just builds this idea of like Sierra-Zinal being a very
it's
special
very
race.
very
Yeah,
international, and
yeah,
it's been won by Jairo Correa, for example, has won it, and he's
yeah.
from Colombia
Mm-hmm.
back in the
90s, yeah,
1990s. Uh, Pablo Vigil, of course, is
of
from the
course.
U.S., but he has
Roots in
Latin
yeah,
American origins, and Ricardo Mejia
okay,
has won it
legend.
several
Yeah,
times. So like those legends, you go to Zinal every year. They're always
yeah,
there to
yeah,
cheer the
yeah.
runners, and it's very special.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love that for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, okay, yeah, let's move to the still you still have two big things pending, right? With CCC and Worlds, but like
two races
yeah,
left.
CCC right around the corner, man. First
Yeah,
first time running the course, right? How you feeling?
yeah, I feel pretty good. I think
Do you know every section of the course already?
actually not. Like
The first section
I didn't run any single kilometer on
on
the
the course.
course this year.
Yeah.
I I don't know the first climb at all. For example,
Mm.
I've never run it. I know the section between Bertone and Bonatti in
Mm.
Valferré, just above Courmayeur.
Mm.
Uh, and I know way better the second half
Of course, yeah,
compared to the first half, just from Champelac until Chamonix.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm not like I think it can be both an advantage and a disadvantage. Of course, being familiar with the course is very important, but also I like the idea of like having a surprise and seeing something new on race day, and I think it can also help me not to start too fast. Just keep a margin, which is very important on the first climb, and probably at least until Champelac, so halfway through the race.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I will see how the race plays out and what the others will do. But
St
yeah, I'm feeling confident and almost ready. I mean, I just have the taper left, so it's all about recovering and yeah, I've done a massive preparation for my standards. I
yeah.
don't think I've ever trained as much as I did in the month of July. Then with my coach, we decided to do this little taper or like period of recovery just before Sierre-Zinal and
Yeah.
use the race as a big stimulus to
Yeah.
like for this last little training block before CCC. So I think things are coming together and yeah, I'm excited, very excited.
That's great, man. It feels like this year CCC is maybe the most stacked field from the other races. Feels like a lot of people is running
Really?
CCC this
Oh,
year.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I feel
Um,
like, yeah, OCC is going to be very interesting with.
Also, yeah, for sure. Like having Jim there will also put the
I wish I was
spotlight
running
on.
OCC now, but yeah, I tried to convince Jim to run CCC when I was at the camp. Uh, like, come on.
Yeah,
But like, he's coming back from an injury,
yeah,
so is still not like training
full on. Yeah.
full on, like his normal training volume, which is pretty high.
Oh,
Is running very well. We've done a couple of workouts together, and yeah, is super fit, but just maybe not fully like running 100K
yeah,
a
durable
month.
enough to,
Yeah,
yeah,
from the
yeah,
World
yeah,
Championship would be way too much of a
risking
risk.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So is chosen to run OCC, which of
yeah.
course has just the same importance and dignity.
You will face each other though at Worlds, right?
We
Because
will.
he's running.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You will
I'm
see him
excited.
again like in a few weeks, so
Yeah.
you can deal with that later. But yeah, I mean it's funny because I know that it feels like now you have ultra experience, right? Especially with what you have done. You know, already 250Ks at Laredo, of course, Canyon, which was amazing. But this will be the longest one that you, in terms of time at least, right? So there is like this new element of like, even though you have already done 100K, right? This will probably take you a bit longer than.
Oh yeah, like CCC for sure. It's going to be best case scenario a 10-hour race, I think. And Worlds, I think. I mean, it's 82K, so just a little over 50 miles with
Yeah.
5,600 meters of elevation, and it's probably gonna take something around 9 hours
Yeah.
because it's really technical
Slow.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tough
It's not
and slow.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's still, so CCC will still be probably longer than that. So it will be
yeah,
the same distance that what you have done already, but the longest that you have ever been. So there's like this also like unknown factor, I guess. As everybody challenged with the idea of like, yeah, how long this will take me, right? But
right.
yeah, I'm just like very interested to see yeah, how you do in this new scenario, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I was very intimidated by the distance at canyons. Now I have a lot of respect for the distance, but
Yeah.
I'm
You're not
less
afraid.
intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because I've done two big long runs. One was like 7 hours, and another one was 6 hours, and I
Yeah.
covered like uh, for the 7 hour it was like 60 kilometers with 4,000 meters, and the 6 hour run that I did just 2 days ago was 47K with 3,500.
That was at
So
home?
it was yeah, just here above Chiavenna.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very nice
And you
route.
did that solo?
I did it with Roberto De Lorenzi,
Ah,
who is
nice.
running
Yeah.
OCC. So
OCC,
yeah,
yeah.
we
Nice
had
company.
a big day together and shared the trail together. And I hadn't done like these massive long runs before canyons. The
Yeah.
longest I had run before was like 4 hours
Yeah.
for canyons. So I feel I feel like the gap to go like from 7 to 10 hours
Yeah.
of expected
It
race time.
doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as intimidating.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point because a lot of the time, especially when training for something like Canyon, you just like can go pretty quickly, right? Like you can do a 4 hour and cover a lot of terrain. But like for
Right,
something like CCC or even World, it's like you need to stack the hours because it's just about moving and spending a lot of time out there, kind of being comfortable, uncomfortable, right? Just like with the elements and everything that comes with just like spending 5, 6 plus hours by yourself
right,
or just with another friend, right? Or a group of people, which is also a very different dynamic that being in a race, right? Like just like racing with, I don't know, a group of 10, 15 guys that all want to go hard.
right. Yeah.
That's exciting. You will I had actually I wanted to ask you about this one because I think it's very interesting and it may have been a little bit cut under the radar. But did you saw Killian's point about like the aid station things and how things are maybe evolving into being too much like, you know, F1 type of thing, like with the aid stations having too much people and just like making it hard for the rest of the non-elite runners to tackle the stuff like, you know, dropbacks and whatnot. So yeah, what's
Did he
your
make a post about it?
yeah, he made a post
Because
about it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Um
But it's a conversation that we actually had before. For example, within the PTRA,
yeah.
like to what extent should be like the crews and the teams be allowed to help the athletes during a
Yeah.
race? Because
Yeah.
if you see it, like UTMB is becoming like if you have a crew or like a team of people helping you, it's a huge advantage compared to
Yeah.
people who don't have it. So to what extent is that gonna be allowed?
Yeah.
And
But
is that fair?
I think it's a great point and like a good reflection. I think everybody should maybe if you're, you know, into the sport is something that you could dwell into a little bit and reflect on it. But yeah, I think I wanted to ask this about CCC in particular because I think that actually UTMB it's trying to do a good job at it. It's like very control what you can do. You can only
Yep.
have like one. I don't remember exactly, but one or two people can go in with you in like very
It's
specific
one
areas.
person,
One
one
person has to
person
have like the
inside
card,
the aid
right?
station, right?
Yeah. So
And
it's like very it still have like a lot of rules, which
yeah,
maybe it's a good thing because everybody can go and have the same, regardless if you are elite or non-elite runner. So even like also, I know that this is kind of maybe chaotic for a lot of people, but like if you don't have a car, you can do the buses.
yeah,
But then it's also hard because buses take time. There is like traffic jams, so it's like you have to basically you have to plan really well who do you want to have where because there is a high chance that if you want to have crew at every point you will maybe need like two three different teams of people. So what's your game plan for CCC in terms of crewing?
yeah. I think my crew by now they're pretty experienced with following me at races and doing crazy stuff to to make sure they reach in time all the aid stations. Yeah, they're pretty familiar with the you know the aid stations, Champé. CCC only has 3 assisted aid stations at Champé,
Hmm.
Triant, and Valorsine. So they're
Yeah,
all in the second half
the
of the
second
race,
half.
basically.
Yeah,
The first half you have to rely on your own
yeah,
products and just yeah, there is a few aid stations where you can obviously refill, but you have to stop and do it yourself.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think UTMB is doing a pretty good job in setting boundaries and establishing rules that are protecting fair competition. And I understand like some people don't like too many rules, but I think it's a topic that like should not be taken lightly or should be like up for chance.
yeah.
Just because then it will turn into like a
No
Formula
man's
One
land. Yeah, yeah,
I don't think we should become like similar to cycling, for example. Like imagine if you could have like a race car following you
yeah. Follow you
or
along.
something. Like it would be
Even though they are
crazy.
fit zones, though, it's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Or
It's
like
not
a drone. Like
but I
imagine
really
if
again,
you had a drone give like following you for the entire
dropping you,
race and
yeah,
dropping
dropping your
you
drink mix. Yeah,
water. Yeah, exactly. I think we don't want
yeah,
that. So of
no,
course,
it's no,
it's good to have
I
rules.
agree. I'm on the same vein, but yeah, I think it's something that we all need to reflect on it, and then also in some courses it's just like harder than others, just like to get aids, right, or to have people
Yeah.
for you. So every race is different, right? But also we know that you know to UTMB to either of the races we have thousands of people out there. So it's like everyone wants to get their chance to do the best they can, right? And but a lot of people they just go by themselves. While of course every pro or lead has you know a group of people helping them out. And I think it's great. We should not compare both of those experience, right? And like there is a reason why, there is elites and there are people that are just like being out there just like to have their own experience. And I think
Yeah, I
it
also
may
want
be
to make
hard to
clear
compare.
that the rules are the same for everyone. Like it's not as
Yeah,
elites. We
yeah,
have
yeah.
like
Eh,
privileges
yeah, every for sure.
or like
Like
people think that
if you're not
sometimes
an
we
elite,
don't
you
have
can.
like the mandatory gear that we need to carry is different, but it's not. Like it's the same exact
Yeah,
list
yeah,
of
yeah.
gear that everyone else has to carry. For
No,
example,
that's a good point,
I think the
and I've
only
seen it, and
privilege we
like
have is like the priority on the start line. We get to be in front of everyone else, but I think it's also fair because then the race flow is much easier. So that's the only thing, basically.
yeah, yeah, no, I know I've seen checking the gear is the same. Everything is the same, and like again, people is allowed to bring crews to their whatever one, two, three, four stations. It's just like for them maybe not. It doesn't make sense because of the logistic of like either taking a
Right.
car or taking the buses that help. But but then again, I feel like it is as long as everybody's playing with the same rules, it's okay. So it's not like you can have three people inside the aid station and others can have one, for example. It's good that they all have one if you choose to use it, and then everything else again stays the same. So yeah, yeah. I think it's a again debatable if how many rules we want to get around this topic, but I think it's good that we have something at least like to base on.
Yeah, it's definitely a conversation worth having. So that's a good point. Cool. Do you have
All
any
right, man.
advice for tapering? I think it would be fun for people to hear our perspective on how to handle the taper, which is a very delicate phase of every preparation. It's maybe
Yeah.
not the smoothest because sometimes you don't have you don't feel like you want weird feelings and you feel maybe tired and heavy and sluggish just because you're reducing the volume
Yeah.
and changing a little bit the routine. So what is your advice for people who are maybe tapering for next week's races or any
Yeah.
other race?
Uh, this is a big topic, right? Because everybody's different at the end of the day. And even though I can say what works best for me, I know that that cannot maybe be the best for others, right? I think first of all, and to the specific case of Chamonix, I know that the week is crazy, especially if you haven't been there before. It can feel very overwhelming, right? Like imagine you arrive on Monday and there's already a lot of things happening. PTL is off, the TDAs guys are running, MCC is also running on Monday. So it feels like you land in Chamonix and there's so much stuff happening, and then of course you want to do everything, right? So I think my first advice would be like try to of course make the most out of your time there, but not overcommit to go to every single fun run or every single panel or every single activity, because if not, if you race on Thursday or Friday, like even after 3 days of doing everything, you will be completely cooked.
Yeah.
So I think it's very hard to not overdo stuff in Chamonix because again, the excitement it's very palpable, and again, there are so many opportunities and you want to meet people and everything. But just like try to commit to do, maybe half of the things that you have in your list. I think that's a that's a good idea. And then maybe save the energy and the time for the things that you really really want to do, right? Not just do everything, right? So I don't know, let's say if you really want to meet someone or want to go to a specific fun run, just like commit to that only one and not just do all of them, because again, if not, it would just be too much energy drain. And again, walking around the expo, it also feels like a lot. There's so much people, and like Chamonix is very small, right? So again, if you feel like you can just walk the whole town, going back and forth, just doing stuff, you don't realize, and you have been walking, for like 10K that day or like 6 miles, and just like
Right.
just by running errands, right? So just like take a deep breath, really prioritize what you want to do, and then just save it for maybe race day, and if you have another extra day after the race, just like make the most out of that, but you have already done the race, right?
Right.
It's like the same thing that you were doing, that you were saying at the beginning, like even for you guys, you have so many commitments normally, and like of course everybody wants a piece of you, right? Because again, it's not very normal to have almost like a full week of things happening. So you want to see the pros, you want to see the races. There's also like people coming into Chamonix from the races like every day. So it feels like you want to stay there, clap, and
Right.
that's amazing too. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. You should definitely stick around downtown
Yeah,
and
it's
just like,
part of the UTMB experience, I think. But the thing
yeah,
is, UTMB has become way more than just a race,
yeah,
or way more than just about competition. It's a lot of things together. It's a community coming together. It's a commercial opportunity for a lot of brands
yeah,
and media and people. So everybody wants
yeah.
their piece. Everybody is there. Everybody is organizing a shakeout run, an activation, the launch of a product, a party,
Giveaways, yeah, parties every
giveaways.
day.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's very exciting, of course, but it's not necessarily the best if you want to prioritize your race and
yeah,
performance. So just be mindful about it, uh,
yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
like for every other race.
yeah. Yeah, and
But
also
yeah,
I
in
think you need
general,
to try
for
to stick to.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna add that yeah, try to stick to a routine if you can, right? Because especially normally people is traveling from different places, so it may be the fact that you're jet lagged, or your stomach is upset because it's a different country and whatnot. So yeah, try to settle into a routine, and again, just like don't overdo everything else, and hopefully you get back to the valley eventually, right? So you don't need to tick everything from the list, on your first trip. And even if this is going to be your only time in Chamonix, your lifetime, just pick and choose, the things that you really want to do, and then just save it, because the races are hard. Like even if you're well prepared, trained, like all of
They're
the
so hard.
races, they're very brutal, right? And I haven't checked the weather yet, so I don't know if it's gonna be a hot one or a cold one. But then also, yeah, that can play as a factor, right? As we know, the weather can get crazy there. So yeah, you will need every single ounce of energy that you have for the race. So please don't throw it away before race it, because again, you will need everything.
Good point. And then yeah, just in more general terms for tapering, I think it's about also like accepting that you're maybe not gonna feel the greatest ahead of the race, but things should come together right on race day. So it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if you don't feel great 2 or 3 days before. It's
yeah,
maybe normal. What really matters is that you feel good on race day, and then like feeling good doesn't mean that, like, not feeling great doesn't mean that you won't be able to deliver your best performance. So trying to detach these two aspects, I think is also important. I've had really good races, not feeling great going into the race, and also the opposite. So
yeah, yeah. You have to
like
trust the process,
yeah, you
right?
have to trust the process and stick to the plan, and just try not
Yeah,
to look for answers from your body uh, the days ahead of the race, and just recover and let uh, let the taper do its work.
exactly. That is magic. When are you arriving to Chamonix?
I think I'm traveling on Monday, so um,
Mhm.
yeah, not too close to the race, but also I don't want to
A
be
few
there
days
for like
before. Yeah,
10 days before, because it gets
yeah,
maybe more stressful. So just in time
yeah,
to
yeah.
acclimatize, pick up my bib numbers, get ready
Yeah.
for the race, and
Sign a couple of autographs.
maybe, and give
Yeah.
the last instructions to my crew.
Yeah, yeah. This lastly too, I know that we have been talking over and over. But yeah, this will be our first year in 3 or even maybe 4 now. I don't remember that we won't be there as well. So
Yeah,
I'm sure that we will have some FOMO around. Also, it's always been an opportunity to just catch up with the team, seeing you, of course. So it feels kind of
we'll
heartbreaking
miss you.
now, being a week out. Yeah. But yeah, of course, I will be following along. I will be glued to the live streams and whatnot, and just yeah. Also, it's fun to follow along even if you are not there physically, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, just like I want to say, hopefully to everybody that gets to get there, it's a very special place, right? You will get to meet a bunch of amazing people. So just yeah, be present, enjoy the moment and be grateful to for the opportunity that you have, either for being there as a racer, right, or even being there as a crew. Just like being involved in this, I think it's something very unique, and it's hard to put it into words because I think it's one of those things that you maybe have to go through and live it, right? But then again, Chamonix is a very special place, so please enjoy it and make the most out of your time there. Yeah, we will be having some FOMO, but hopefully, yeah, hopefully next year we can come back and do something fun there too.
awesome. So good luck. We'll see you after the finish.
Yeah, best of luck to you, man. I will
Thank you.
be again rooting for you, of course. Looking forward to already chatting with you after the race. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch up and debrief everything.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Nice.
Max. Thanks everyone for listening.
Ciao, ciao.